One of the oldest stations is also one of the busiest stations in London, and this is London Bridge that recently was named Building of the Year after a £1 billion rebuild. We discovered that there's more to London Bridge than this, the building.
London Bridge actually is one of the oldest stations in London, in the country. Actually, it opened originally back in 1839. It was the London and Greenwich Railway back then. It was originally two stations, and then they decided to bolt the two stations together, and it became the London and Brighton Railway, so serving the southeast coast. But then, because they bolted two stations together without much thought, it was a very, very confusing station to navigate around for the passengers. And even just up to about 10, 12 years ago, for our passengers coming through the station, it was very, very confusing. The wayfinding was very, very difficult just to navigate around.
As part of the Thameslink programme, London Bridge Station underwent a £1 billion redevelopment that took nearly 10 years to complete. The investment was worth every penny, as this bright and attractive terminal is now a pleasure to use.
Well, it's not dark and dingy anymore, and that's a massive plus. And also we're going to be having, we've got 70 shops here at the moment. Before we never had that kind of service for our passengers, but also it's opened up the entire area. We've got behind me, we've got Tooley Street, and then in front of me we've got St Thomas Street. I remember trying to tell people where St Thomas Street was just a few years ago. It's like sending them to the back of Beyond. You had to send them through a dark tunnel and tell them how to navigate all of that. But now it's opened up the whole community. We've got this street level concourse here as well. So it's really, I'm hoping we're getting there for our passengers and delivering the type of station this community deserves.
London Bridge is the fourth busiest station in the United Kingdom, with about 1,700 trains passing through here every day. Since the redevelopment, the station was able to add more routes to their offering, which has helped with improving accessibility in London. With commercial space increasing in the station, London Bridge is more than just a train station for commuters. It is a space the public can now enjoy for leisure or retail therapy.
Well, it's around 54 to 56 million a year, so roughly. But what's going to be interesting now, this station, London Bridge, 80% of the people that come through this station historically have been commuters. So we were very much a peak station. So what I mean by that is you'd have people in the morning coming to work, and then they'd be returning in the afternoon, go home. But now what we're seeing is a different influx of people using the station, people just cutting through the station, people just coming here to buy some new shirts at TM Llewellyn, or coming here to buy sandwiches, going out for lunch with their friends, and also just cutting across the station just to get from St Thomas Street to Tooley Street. So we're going to be looking at that at the end of this year, who is using our station now, because I think that split, 80% commuters, I think that will change. So that's really, really interesting.
The London Underground, like the public transport system in other cities such as Moscow and New York, is a service that has contributed to the development, growth and management of large metropolitan areas. Visionary leaders of the past saw the value of these solutions centuries ago, and the execution and investment of their ambitious plans are reaping rewards today. So much so, in fact, that life without the transport system is almost unimaginable.
80% of the people historically that used to use this station, they were trying to get to work and trying to go home. If you take that away, that would be absolutely, the challenges for people then trying probably to cross the river and try and get to work from that way. If you didn't have such a station that worked for the passengers, the workers in this area, I mean, 80% of where would they have gone? The challenges there, and so we have here. We're right next door to the London Underground, and that's the Northern and the Jubilee line. All of those passengers, that would fill up and block up the London Underground. That would cause some serious crowd control. They'd probably be closing their stations more so. So by opening up, bringing in more trains, I mean 1,700 trains a day, we've got roughly 20 trains per hour as well. We're bringing in more and more people to work and getting them home. So that's the main thing for us, to make those journeys effortlessly and smoothly.